Pay attention to when proper nouns are used. Proper nouns are specific names like names of people. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Juliet and I'm a person test of English tutor. In today's video, we'll basically be looking at the PTE listening fill in the blank. Now this is one of the tasks in your listening module that is also very important because it's going to ask us to both the listening module and your writing module. So I want you to stay with me to the end of this video where I share the tips and the strategies that you might really need for you to ace this test on exam day. Now you have 2 or 3 of these tasks on exam day and you hear an audio play once. Actually, it's a listening task. For all the listening tasks in the listening module, you would hear an audio, and this task is not an exception. So while the audio plays, you would also see a paragraph before you in a box, and you're supposed to fill in the blanks in the paragraph, and you're supposed to get the answers from the audio that you listen to. So you'll be doing 2 things, listening and filling in the blank. So that is why the task is going to ask us to both your listening module and your writing module. Now, for each blank that you fill correctly, you get 1 point. And negative marking does not apply to this task. This is because for every blank you get correctly, you get 1 point. Now, let us look at the tips and some strategies that you'll be needing or that you need to apply on this task. Now, here are some tips and strategies that you will need to pass this task. The first one is this. You have to listen attentively while you have your eyes on the screen of your laptop. Remember, on the day of the exam, you'll be given an erasable notepad. Now that notepad, what I will always tell my students is get a very clean portion of that notepad. This is because you can't be looking at the notepad and writing. But if you have a clean portion of the notepad, you can write even without looking at the notepad. Why wouldn't you look at the notepad? This is because you need to fix your eyes on the screen while the audio reads or while the audio goes on. So have a clear portion of your erasable notepad where you write down the response to the audio. I wouldn't advise you to try to type into the blank as the audio is playing. This is because there'll be some sort of error. So get an empty space on your erasable notepad and take down the answers. Try to take down the first one, take down the second one without even looking at it. And this is where practice comes in. You have to pay attention so that you know when plural forms of words are used. For example, sometimes you could be listening to one of the fill in the blanks and you hear them say words like benefits, words like droughts, words like cardiologists. So there is need for you to pay attention so that you get those words. This is because if you miss out the plural forms of words and that is what was used in the audio, you're going to fail that particular blank. So pay attention for plural forms of words. Another thing you need to pay close attention to is when the past tense of forms of words or verbs are used. For instance, when they use words like deformed, assessed. You know, if you make a mistake and put assess or deform, you'll be losing the mark for that particular blank. Tip number 3, pay attention to when proper nouns are used. Proper nouns are specific names like names of people, names of countries, and even days of the week. It means that you have to start them up with a capital letter. This is because wherever proper nouns are, irrespective of where they sit in a sentence, they will be started with a capital letter. Example, now when they call people's names while the audio is playing, or names of countries, or even days of the week, and you start them with a small letter, you will fill that blank. You fill the response to that blank because as long as they are proper nouns, wherever they are found or wherever they are seated in a sentence, they should be started with a capital letter. So ensure that you listen very well to know when a proper noun is mentioned, so you can begin them with a capital letter. One other important tip for this task is time management. Now, because we said it's one of the important tasks in the listening module, doesn't mean that you spend all the time there. In fact, once the audio finishes, you should just type in the responses or the answers you got from the audio that you wrote down on your erasable notepad directly straight up into the blanks, and then just scan through and check for spelling errors and click the next button. This is because if you don't manage your time very well here, you might not be able to finish up the exam, and the computer will log you off, and that is log you out, and that will be the end of the exam. So you have to manage your time very well for this task, and this is where practicing comes in. Don't practice 5, don't practice 10 and say to yourself that you have practiced enough. Keep practicing. The more you practice, the easier this task becomes. The more you practice, the easier for you to be able to manage your time even on exam day. Now, this brings me to the end of this video. I hope you're able to get some tips that will help you pass this task on exam day. Remember to follow me on Instagram at English_prep class and on Facebook at English Prep Class. Please hit the subscribe button. It's a way of encouraging me to do more videos for you, and also leave comments so that I can respond to them, and you know more, or you want me to share more tips on any other task or any other module for the PTE exam, I'll be willing to do that. So I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, guys. Bye.